Here's a roundup of the latest developments in the ongoing US-Iran conflict and the wider region. The White House says US President Donald Trump remains open to diplomacy with Iran despite recent military action. White House spokesperson Karoline Leavitt said Iran's economy and military have suffered what she described as devastating blows, but added that the president is still willing to pursue diplomacy. She also claimed Iran violated the diplomatic phase that followed Operation Epic Fury and said the United States has demonstrated it can strike Iran at any time.
Iran very much continues to talk to the United States of America and express that they want to make a deal with us because they are suffering devastating blows on behalf of our United States military.
Leavitt also said the recent US strikes were launched after Iran violated a memorandum of understanding by firing on commercial vessels in the Strait of Hormuz. She said Iran continues to communicate with Washington and has expressed interest in reaching a deal, but added that President Trump would not allow attacks on commercial shipping in the strait to go unanswered.
The recent strikes over the course of the last several days is because Iran violated the memorandum of understanding that we struck with them. Specifically, in the memorandum of understanding that they signed, they were not to fire on commercial vessels moving through the Strait of Hormuz. And unfortunately, they have made the tragic decision for them to do that. And President Trump is not going to sit by and allow these active acts of terrorism to take place in the Strait without ensuring Iran pays consequences for that, and that's what we are witnessing right now.
Meanwhile, the White House says the investigation into the Manab school strike, which left 168 people dead at the start of the Iran war, is still ongoing. As to why President Trump has denied US responsibility for the strike, Leavitt said the matter remains under investigation and referred further questions to the Department of War. She added that the president believes the US military acts in good faith and does not target civilians or children.
All I can speak to is what the president has said as I speak on his behalf, and the investigation continues, and we would defer you to the Department of War for third. Well, that's the president's opinion, and at the very same time, he has said the Department of War is investigating the matter, and we would defer you to them for any questions with respect to the investigation, which obviously has not been released yet. I would defer you to them for further questions on it. But I think the president feels that way because he knows that our military always acts in good faith and absolutely never targets civilians or children.
On the Iranian side, Parliament Speaker Mohammad Baqir Ghalibaf said Iran has no choice but to rely on its own strength and become stronger. In a statement shared on social media, he said the United States seeks to attack Iran and advance its interests whenever possible, adding that Iran's approach to both the war and negotiations must be based on national interests, security, and long-term planning. Iranian media also reported fresh US strikes near the southern port city of Bandar Abbas, according to Fars News Agency. Missiles hit locations in Hormozgan province between 6:20 and 6:40 p.m. local time. Authorities said there were no injuries and no damage to residential or commercial infrastructure. Separately, Iran's Mehr News Agency reported that US projectiles struck an area near Qasem Island in the Strait of Hormuz. Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi accused the United States of committing war crimes. In a statement on Telegram, he said attacks on vital infrastructure and threats to target bridges and power plants amount to a flagrant violation of the UN Charter and international law. He also said such actions constitute serious international crimes under the Geneva Conventions and called on governments to prosecute those responsible. In Yemen, Houthi leader Abdul Malik al-Houthi blamed the United States and Israel for instability in the region during a televised address. He accused Saudi Arabia of advancing US and Israeli objectives and alleged that Saudi attacks on Yemen have continued for years without legal justification. He also claimed Israel's goal of creating what he described as a Greater Israel is driving conflicts across the region. The Houthi leader also warned that Saudi oil facilities and other vital infrastructure would become targets for Houthi missiles and drones if Riyadh escalates military operations against Yemen, according to Reuters.
كل المنشآت النفطية السعودية والمنشآت الحيوية هي هدف لصواريخنا وطائراتنا المسيرة. ورط نفسه في العدوان الشامل على بلدنا واتجه للتصعيد بدلا من أن يحترم نفسه وأن يكف عن حصارنا. مسألة مختلفة تماما. بإصراره على الحصار واتجاهه للعدوان الشامل لن نألو جهدا في التصدي له بكل ما نملك وبكل ما سنملك، ومستعينين بالله ومتوكلين على الله وهو خير الناصرين. الثبات العظيم الذي كان لشعبنا على مدى كل السنوات الماضية، في المستقبل بإذن الله تعالى نحن أكثر ثباتا، أكثر عزما، أكثر تفانيا في سبيل الله تعالى، وأكثر فاعلية وتأثير في الموقف.
And in Lebanon, Hezbollah has denied reports that Syrian forces seized its weapons on the Syria-Iraq border. In a statement carried by Iran's Tasnim news agency, Hezbollah described the reports as fabricated and baseless, saying they were intended to damage the group's image and serve US and Israeli objectives in the region.